I'm so tempted to take you a little bit off-road.
Yes, that's all right.
It's all right?
Yeah.
And because every problem that we see later on in life comes from this programming that we have as a child.
Mhm.
So very often we talk about, especially in psychology, there is a lot of talk about reparenting yourself when
Mhm.
parent is not able to do so. And obviously
Mhm.
we are talking about adulthood. How can conscious parenting principles can help us in reparenting? Is it possible?
Yeah. Well, it's pretty much reparenting yourself. The work is pretty much reparenting because you're starting to turn inwards. You're starting to meet your own needs instead of meeting your needs through something else or through your child, which often can happen. We want to be seen by our child. We want to be noticed. We want them to, do you see me? This is all in childhood. All we ever want and wanted, a child wants, and what we wanted is to be seen, heard, and understood. Like, do you see me? I used to remember going, Mom, look at me. I'd do a dance, and, like, look at me, and they were busy. And they'd be like, quick, look at me. So we start to meet our own needs. We start to feel into what do we need? We're not looking outwards, and that's the difference. We're starting to look within. You acknowledge yourself. You're starting to do it all for yourself. You're starting to meet those parts of you that like suspended in childhood, and you're bringing all the parts back to the whole. And the beauty of that is that once you start to do that work, the story, the child starts to shift because you've shifted. You've started to meet yourself. So the work is reparenting yourself, your own inner child, which is within you. That when you get triggered, it rattles the cage. It rattles the cage. Your ego will try and protect you, and you've got emotions that weren't felt in childhood, that were shoved down, and she's screaming in there, or he's screaming in there, like, do you see me? Do you see me? And it's because we're looking outside to be seen. We're looking at social media. We're looking at our partners to see us, our children. They can never see us how we want to be seen. Only job, the only person that can see us like that, which is what our inner child is screaming for, is us. And when we realize that all the stuff we're trying to do on the outside is not going to work because it's the ego will never meet our needs. The ego will never have enough, will never be pretty enough, will never be smart enough, will never be the best parent enough, or we've never done enough. That's just not going to work. So when you go, it's the illusion. Okay, bring it back to me. What do I want? What do I need? How do I need to look after myself today? And you start to meet those needs. And when something comes up, child says something, and you go, that's not about my child. My child just said I'm the worst mother ever. Like, right, okay. It's not really about me. It's not personal, but it's bringing up a feeling in me. Okay, they're upset with me. I didn't give them what they wanted. Okay, they're going to say, I hate my mum, or I hate my dad. You're the worst mum ever. Then it's an invitation to go, that's making me feel like helpless, like scared, or I'm sad. And then you be with that. You're not emoting it. You're not reacting to it. You're not going, right, how dare you say that to me? Go to your room. You're like, wow, you're really upset with me, right? Because I said no. Then you go and do the work later on, maybe go to the bathroom, do it later on at night, and you're like, wow, that really hit me. It's really hard for me to be with that feeling. And it's not a logical thing. You're not thinking it. It's a felt thing. And so, especially if you shoved a lot of emotions down, it's a process of starting to embody yourself, be in your body, feel your feet on the ground. Start to embody yourself, because we were stuck in our head so much. The head can't heal. The head can just think the program, like just regurgitate the same stuff.
I love that. I can imagine certain situations where, that perfectly applies. But you mentioned this thing of changing and having all these emotions. How can we let them go, or how important is to let go those emotions to allow that change to happen. And I would like to throw in the concept of forgiveness, which is the main topic of this podcast. And in particular, to ask you if forgiveness has a role when we start rethinking our parenting practices or principles, and when we want to shift the dynamics with our children.
Yeah, well, firstly, you have to be not in judgment of what you've done or what happened or the incident, the situation, or whatever it may be. You can't be in your heart if you're in judgment. And then, it's really accepting of, wow, yeah, maybe there's something in your past that happened with your kids, or maybe you've been yelling all the time and been an angry mom or dad, or you've been reactive and not been in your heart as much as you really desire to be. So then it would be really accepting that and holding space for that and sitting with those emotions. Those emotions like guilt and shame and unworthiness and all these sadness and anger, they've all been in us way before our children arrived on the planet. So this is within us, and we get busy. Busyness takes us away from being. Busyness is the ego trying to make us to-do lists, always busy, never enough time. And you have to kind of stop and be in the moment and start to process those emotions, start to sit with them, which means you could be focusing on your breath, just opening up to what emotions might be there. It might be hard. Maybe in the moment of when you feel the emotion, that's the time to go to your child, like depending on how old, and obviously they have to be in a safe space. Go to the bathroom, I need 5 minutes, and then cry it out. If you've been disconnected from your emotions, it's hard to sit with them because you're going to go to your head. So taking that time, if you're triggered, that's the moment. I know I'm triggered. I need to cry it out, or I need to go to the car and be here for a moment. So if something happens, you hold yourself in that space. So you allow the emotions to move through you. And then you may go, it's a process. So no one can say how long it's going to take you or what's going to happen. It's your process. But what will happen is next time you get to maybe the same issue or something comes up, the same trigger, you maybe notice it's a little less. I'm not like crying. I feel a little bit something, but I'm not like bawling, and it's not like I don't feel helpless. So you're going to notice gradually what initially really sent you off or triggered you or derailed you. You're going to notice like, it's a little less, and it's just going to get a little less and a little less till the point that it'll be like, that doesn't really bug me. It might bug someone else now. And then, you'll be like, wow, that doesn't bug me anymore. So you'll notice it starts to dissipate. It starts to dissolve. Yeah. So you've accepted, like kind of forgiveness, acceptance kind of entwined. Forgiving yourself, but accepting is also, I think they go hand in hand. You've really got to accept what happened to you or what didn't happen to you or how you reacted or what you did. I mean, we all have histories, and often we don't process that. We just go to fix. So when fixing is part of the egoic agenda, notice, when am I fixing? Because when you fix something, you think something's wrong, something's broken, and you're not broken. We're not broken. The ego makes us think we're broken, but we're not. And so it's really just starting to become aware, and it doesn't all happen all at once. It's a layered process. You work on one thing and then you notice something else. And your divine being knows exactly the right process to take. So yeah, it's a real journey, but it's a journey back to yourself, and it's a journey to connect yourself to your own divine self, and also allow your child to be connected to you.
I love what you said. We are not broken because having suffered from depression, I had that feeling that everybody was their fingers toward me saying, you are broken. And saying, I'm not. and just going through a low dip in my life.
Yeah. You in ego or creator. When you step out of the egoic agendas, you can step into creating what you want. There's plenty of very successful people out there that have had pretty horrific past. You just need to step out from the egoic agenda into what you want to create. And that's following your heart. What do I love? What do I want to do? And that I also do this work with parents where we have more of a vision of what you want. Connect to your heart. How do you want to be as a parent? How do you want to show up? How do you want to feel in your home? What kind of energy do you want to create in your home? Because it's really important also to start to have a different mindset. Because otherwise the ego will hijack you. So a lot of the work can also be just starting to notice when you're in ego and when you're not, when you're in your higher self. Because the ego will beat you up or build you up or beat someone else up, build them up, beat them down. And it's the circle. It just will self-perpetuate the same issues, the same problems, the problems won't fix if you're in your ego. But you have to have the awareness.
Absolutely. Everything starts from that point.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for highlighting that. I think it's extremely important.
Thank you, Rosanna. Thank you. It was great.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this content, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell and like this video. See you in the next one.